everyone, thank you so much for watching my channel. My name is Dia. Welcome to my channel Knowledge Seekers. This is my first video. In this channel I'm going to be reviewing books, what I learned from the books and how it actually changed my life. And it's not just about reviewing books and saying that hey, this is a nice book and everything. I think I should actually just say the chapters that actually interested me the most and what I learned about the book, and share a couple of experiences that I got within the book. So, starting with this book, The Autobiography of a Yogi, which is written by Paramahansa Yogananda, and as it said, it's Autobiography of a Yogi. So, Paramahansa Yogananda actually wrote it by himself. And this book usually talks about Guru Parampara, which literally means lineage of gurus. How one guru, uh, who is a spiritual teacher, will select the further gurus, and how they will be his disciple will again be a guru. And guru, as I said, it's a spiritual teacher, and it talks about how Paramahansa Yogananda met his guru. What about the changes in his life after he met his guru? um, what were all those magical moments where his guru um, gave him the spiritual guidance and changed his life. And it's not just about a spiritual book. So uh, when I looked at the cover, the very first time I got this book was that it is a spiritual book. But it's not just a spiritual book, it is a motivational book. It is a book that talks about science. It is a book that talks about neuroscience and psychology. And it is a book that actually compares the Indian and Western culture and Indian understanding of spirituality, Indian understanding of mind, versus how the Western world thinks about brain, or the consciousness, or how the Western world thinks about neuroscience. So even those things are compared and contrasted at many places in the book. And it also talks about, one of my favorite things that it talks about is past lives, and like what we were in the, it's not just what we were in the past lives, but how our past lives actually affect our present day-to-day life, and what happens, and what actually is liberation, and what happens after death. So this is an incredible book to anyone who has not yet read nonfiction. This is my first nonfiction book, by the way, and I think I fell in love with nonfiction after this, because earlier I used to be scared. I completely understand that autobiographies and all the nonfiction books, they help us grow, they help us understand. But I was scared. I was scared and a little bit bored, I would say, to read nonfiction, because they don't interest. They didn't interest me as much as fiction books did. But this is the first nonfiction book that I read, and trust me, I have now gained so much through this book that I can read nonfiction and be mature enough to understand them. So started this book when I was in ninth grade. I definitely did not have so much maturity back then that I could complete this book. So I read 2 to 3 chapters and then I left it. I didn't finish it at that time, and I started it again a couple of months back, as my interest and wanting to know more things in spirituality, the um, aspiration went up. So I started reading this book and I discovered that it's not just about spirituality, first of all. And it is an incredible book. My favorite chapter, which actually, when I was reading it, and the first chapter that actually interested me, and then I was like, that was my one of the favorite chapters when I started it. It was the Ganda Baba chapter, how he actually materializes things out of thin air. So it's actually said in the book how every thing that is around us, they have vibrations, and how actually those are controlled by electrons and protons, and those are controlled by prana, which is the life trance that is which is mentioned in the book. And Ganda Baba was well aware of these vibrations, and he used to control those vibrations to materialize things as per the devotees' requests and everything. So within the same chapter, it has talked about how materializing happens and how hypnotism and the neuroscience science perspective of hypnotism they have discussed, and it's incredible. As I said, it is comparing the Western and the Indian, and even contrasting the Indian and the Western culture, and how Paramahansa Yogananda, in the later years of his life, he visited America. What were his experiences? How he met the devotees who believed in Jesus, and what were his experiences. He learned a lot through those devotees, and he also, one of the favorite chapters, like as I said, Ganda Baba, and the very next chapter after is for Perfume Saint. Perfume Saint is a saint which he talks about how our mind actually controls our body, and our in that chapter, trust me when I say this, I have read that particular chapter, I think, two times at least, 2 to 3 times at least, because it talks about how our past life affects our consciousness, and consciousness is not limited to one life, and then how it comes to the present life, and by the end of it, I literally got goosebumps. And it's said in the book that every limitations that we think we cannot break in this lifetime is actually created by us in our consciousness, maybe back in, like, in some different lifetime. So we can do everything that we want, as long as we are willing to do it. So it really challenged a lot of things for me, and made me understand that my limitations are set by me and no one else. So maybe not in this lifetime, but maybe in some lifetime. So please, please go ahead and read this book, or at least to this chapter for Perfume Saint, because um, it really changed how I look at my problems now. And those who are a little bit interested in astrology, or how if you're from India, you might know, we are asked to wear rings in certain times of, certain nakshatras or certain stars are aligned or not, not in our favor or in our favor. So it has a very scientific backing to why, we are asked to wear certain rings, or, do certain things in certain times, because, as we are born, it's a mathematical equation with our past karmas that get activated, like when we are born. So stars don't have anything against us or for us. It's just the cause and effect equilibrium that we are maintaining, that the universe is trying to maintain with us by giving us good things and bad things, as per our karmas. So a lot of um, emphasis has been done on the karma, and how one can break the limitations that we have set ourselves, and how one has to suffer, like certain karmas, and why is one suffering. So that is one thing, and how a guru plays like how guru has so much of importance on the life of a disciple. Although I am personally, as I said, I'm a devotee to Rangaudut Maharaj. He's a saint from Nareshwar. I personally was aware of so many of these instances where a lot of devotees have talked about how he had got the darshan of our Guruji in a completely different city and completely different place. I myself have heard a lot of stories, and I believe in him, and I know how a devotee's life changes after, or rather, in presence of a guru. So I wouldn't say I had related like 100%, but I personally had some experience, so it had very good. It helped me understand more about the guru parampara, and spirituality explained by guru, and how guru actually plays a role in our lives. But regardless of that, many instances where Paramahansa Yogananda's guru helped him to attain spirituality, and not just in spirituality, how he helped in his exams, how he helped him with his family problems and everything. And I have experienced that myself with my guru. So as I said, it was very much something that I understood pretty quick. And one of my favorite chapters, uh, by the end of the book, was how Guru, his Paramahansa Yogananda Nanda's guru, gives him darshan. So when darshan of Guru happens, uh, we might have heard so many stories where we had darshan of Guru when, out of somewhere, and you're like, how did it happen? My guru, if he is in physical form, he's in a completely different city, or in our case, we live in different country, then he's in different country. How am I able to see him? So in this book, it's actually explained how a yogi can give darshan in a different place. It's scientifically explained, and with mentioning of Einstein's laws and Newton's laws and everything. And from what I understood, from what my understanding was for this particular thing, was if anyone can make their mass infinite and travel at the speed of light, they can actually be visible to um, someone who is far away. So it was nerve wracking for me, and it just made me believe in the power of consciousness, in the power of the supreme. And it just made me believe in the infinite God. And there are many references of how the devotees of Jesus, they how they it's compared and contrasted how um, it's their devotion is in respect to how Indians, like Indian culture, and how we do this, take the spirituality path. One of the last chapters that I would like to talk about in this video is when Paramahansa Yogananda's guru comes and educates him about what happens after death. So after death, we don't live in our physical body, we go to our astral body. And then if we have done good karmas in astral world, we have access to different astral world planets. And then after our astral worlds, if we have actually done very good karmas, then we go to the causal world and unite with the infinite, which to my understanding is talking about the liberation. But even in the astral world, even in the physical world, we do have like similar many similar experiences, although not 100% similar. But it's mentioned that physical body has certain elements, astral head body has more. um, and how we actually can connect being in a physical body when we are in the deep meditation, or when we are sleeping without any, like when we are deep asleep without any dreams, we are actually in connection with the causal body. And if we are like manifesting or willing something very hard, then we are in, like, we can be connected to the astral body, and it's our astral body who is in function. And how the way it is mentioned, how a human suffering is the cause for, like all the a human desire is the cause for all suffering. It's explained like wonderfully. Like, I don't think there would be any better explanation to this. But it's wonderful, and I myself have um, read that particular chapter and this particular thing about the astral world and the causal world more than 3 to 4 times, because it took me time to understand. So please do check it out. It's a wonderful book. If you're just starting with your nonfiction journey, please do give it a try. And I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching my video. And if you have any book that you would like me to read and then review about it, please do comment down on my video, and I will definitely try to read that. And if not, I will read another book in the next video, and we'll see you then. All right, have a good day and keep learning.